Welcome to ZKast, everyone. I'm ZS Caraval from ZK Research, and I'm here at the Talkdesk Analyst Summit in beautiful Charleston, South Carolina. I'm with Pedro Andrade from Talkdesk, VP of AI or AI guru, if you will. Just a quick intro on yourself, and for those not familiar with Talkdesk, who is Talkdesk and what do you do?
So Talkdesk is an AI CX company. So we work to help our customers to improve their customer experience across different areas on the company, specifically in contact centers, and trying to bring more than just a contact center, but actually a different way of doing customer experience. That's what we do. We offer those services on the cloud. So we help the customers to do this transition faster into a better experience.
And as VP of AI, what does that job entail? Because that could mean a lot of things.
Let me tell you this, that right now, I believe that this is the worst job in the world, right?
Because it means everything?
It's because right now the world is crazy around AI. Things are moving at a really fast pace, and it's difficult to be on top of everything. And so my job, and when I'm saying that, is a nightmare right now. I was saying a moment ago, is because most of my time is I spend it to deconstruct some of images and story tales about fantasies, all those romantic novels about AI. And we need to take this in a more serious way because there are customers that are really looking for help, and we just can go with all those fantastic things about AI and just throw them into them because they need the support, they need to help, they need to be able to understand. We need to understand what they should do. And so this is why I'm saying on one part of the world is just going crazy with all the fantastic things, but also this part of education is really important. And sometimes I feel like if you want to take it serious, you need to spend some time on deconstructing those messages.
Yeah, so from a deconstruction perspective, let's talk about the vision of what this brings. And so many people view, and certainly all the industry watchers in the ZKast and CX space, view AI as the biggest transformative technology perhaps ever in CX, right? Mm-hmm. And so if that's the case, what's your vision for what AI-enabled CX looks like?
Yeah, so if you tell me in the near future how I see this, in terms of vision, I imagine a day where contact centers and customer experience on the contact centers way beyond the answering a question or resolving a problem. What I would love to go is to a place to a moment where we are able actually to anticipate the problem. Right? So right now, contact center are at the end of the journey.
They're very reactive. Right?
Really reactive. And it's really a tough job to try to do this at that stage. So we need to go at getting all the experience, all the journey, and start acting on that. So whenever, as a CX companies, I think like we need to start looking at this and using proactive AI, being more predictive about anticipating an issue and trying to solve the issue before it becomes an issue. So this is where I feel like we need to start from somewhere. That's true, but we need to go all the way into anticipation of an issue.
Okay, so if that's your North Star, right, and if customers want AI, how do you get them there without it being some kind of big bang, which is really disruptive? But so in a way that's consumable, non-disruptive, but also secure.
So
that's a tough question to answer.
Yeah, I know that. But here's the way we created a framework at Talkdesk using an AI maturity model, and that helps a lot to frame on how we help our customers to understand where they are in this journey and what are the next steps to successfully and responsibly adopt AI. So basically, what it means is that each company at certain moments in time is in one specific of 5 stages of maturity. And that maturity is done by their data maturity. So how good is your knowledge base? How good are your services? Are your services are available to be integrated so you can start using some sort of AI automation on it? Your AI maturity depends on your data maturity. So, and basically taking on that, the first thing is to do a right assessment. You need to understand where you are. Where are your knowledge bases? Where are your service APIs? Are they available? Are they on the cloud? And so you need to understand where you are so you can program where you are going. And Talkdesk, as part of our job, is to help our customers to understand, to do this journey so they can successfully adopt and responsibly adopt the AI products.
Yeah, do customers actually understand where they are? And I asked that sort of tongue in cheek, but also in a serious way. When I was before I was an analyst, I was at a VAR, and we had a maturity model for different IT projects. And whenever we asked customers about their level of maturity, their estimate was they assumed they were further along than they really were. So when we plugged all their data into the maturity model, they might think they're a 4, but they're really a 3. And is the same thing happening with AI? Do companies actually believe they have a better handle on the data than they do?
I have a couple of very funny stories on that. Short answer is some do know, some do they really do a good assessment, but the problem is that some terms are not easy to understand, or not one everyone has the same definition of the same term. So, for example, what it means that you have AI-ready knowledge base. Most people don't know that, and some people know, and some companies think that.
It sounds good though.
Yeah, exactly. So it sounds like they have they think that they have a good knowledge base with a lot of articles, but is it really complete? What are the gaps on that? Most people don't realize until you start doing this experimentation, and basically that is a fundamental thing: is that you give an assessment, try it, and refine your assessment, review your assessment. But let me tell you one story. They have a story of a situation where a person came to me saying, "Oh, I have a fantastic knowledge base. I have everything I have is digital. I have everything all connected into knowledge bases." But then what I found is that knowledge bases. Then I said, "Fantastic. Let's take a look at that." And then it was a set of PDF files with some screenshots and subtitles of what's inside the screenshot, and I said, we need to do better than that.
Yeah.
And so basically, doing this assessment, reviewing, taking a look at the data, that is going to help to do this type of assessment, review those assessments, and it's fundamental to get these customers into a position where they can successfully adopt AI.
All right. Well, with that being said, you talk to a lot of customers, obviously, right? And there is a big thirst for AI. In fact, every company I talk to has got some kind of AI on the roadmap. Within the context of CX, what are customers looking to do today with it?
So here's the couple of data that I see. I would tell this fiscal year, I'm saying around 30% of the customers are in the experimental phase. All right, so they have budget, they need to do it. It's part of their CIO's budget. They need to start implementing something on AI. So 30% pretty much are looking for something. What are the use cases? Trying to figure out use cases, trying to do the hands-on on AI for the first time. Then around 40% are now on the piloting phase. Okay, they are ready. They know. They pick 1 to 3 use cases. This is one of the number of use cases I'm seeing, 1 to 3. They are picking up that number, those use cases, and they are start piloting that. And there are already around 20%, more or less, that are already in production phase, and they are already running on it and successfully running on it. And there are a couple of them that are still looking where they are going.
For the ones running, can you give a couple of examples? You don't have to name the customers, but just for illustration purposes, I guess. What are some of the things that are done in production today?
Right. So you see 3 different areas where AI is being applied successfully, and for those, even for the piloting and implementation. you see them working on analytics, non-impactful experiences, right? It's not impacting your experience, but it's going to give you fundamental insights about what's going on so you can then take action on it. So this is usually the first piece I see being plugged, is taking interaction analytics, understanding what's going on, understanding the interactions, understanding what the reasons why people are calling, what are the type of things, what are the type of emotion, understanding what is going on so you can then take an action. Those actions, most of the times in the second tier, they are going into helping the staff. I'm not just saying helping agents, but as well helping supervisors that are on back offices, right? So doing automation to automatic validate and verify agents' quality, and doing the coaching based on that information, as well helping agents, of course, to getting the data readily available, response time, lower response times, and reducing average handle time. So those are the main, say, the top two of the use cases. There are a lot of use cases where customers are already ready to do implementation of customers on self-service. Oh. So it's a traditional bots, autopilots, virtual agents coming up, and they are actually getting good success on that with good deflections rate, and they are experiment without breaking the customer experience that they have.
Yeah, AI actually makes self-service a good experience.
Yeah.
Right, where you can't always said before. Now, the biggest one of the biggest concerns about AI is obviously privacy and security. Right, and Talkdesk is handling a lot of customer data, and so can you talk a little bit about the things that you're doing to make sure you're safeguarding your customers, and also make sure that they're protecting themselves?
Sure. So here, let me answer this in two ways. The first one is about the usage of the data. So it's important that customers trust their providers, and Talkdesk is proud to announce that and to tell customers that we don't use customers' data to train on our models to benefit Talkdesk or to benefit other customers. And that is a super important thing. It's the first number one reason people are afraid when adopting AI is because what is going to happen with my data? So I think that any providers, and Talkdesk is doing that, but any providers should take an approach that they need to clarify that point. What is going to happen with customers' data? Okay, so this is the customer now understand that data is their major asset.
Yes.
And so this is a legitimate concern that they have. So I think that providers should treat this with respect and should clarify in plain English how they are using the data. So this is the first one. The second one is something that I see the market not willing to talk so much, which is the vulnerabilities of the generative AI. Right? And most people prefer to spend most of the time on the wonderful things about generative AI, not so much on the things that the vulnerabilities, because they exist. So as providers that we are, the number one reason, the number one thing that we deliver before delivering any generative AI capability was to deliver a trust layer. A trust layer that protects the applications against things like hallucinations, like prompt injection, and other type of vulnerabilities that this technology is prone to. So that was the very first thing that we deployed before deploying any other generative AI solution. So we need to provide customers with the trust because they already have questions in their head enough. So we need to remove and relieve that and remove those concerns about data and concerns about vulnerabilities of this technology.
All right, that makes sense. And just a couple of questions. Obviously, you're well experienced in AI and you've talked to a lot of customers. What are a couple of things that you think most companies miss or aren't considering?
Oh, I can tell you this really fast. Education.
Oh.
Education. If I had $1 for every time I had a meeting with a customer where they are or confused, or they have a lot of questions about AI use cases, how to implement, where to start, I think that I would say that education is the number one thing that we should work with customers. And they are not missing a technology or feature. What they're missing is proper education. And I think that the market is not doing a good job, to be fair.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah.
They are not doing a good job. I think that we are, most providers are just yelling out loud that the fantastic, just do adopt, and you need to buy this. And without the proper education, what is the right use case? Where should you start? What is your maturity assessment so you can take the full benefit of that? So understanding what is possible, what is feasible, what are the risk levels, I think that is something that providers should do. We do a lot of effort. It's part of my, when I said at the beginning, when I said that it's a terrible job right now being VP of AI, it's because part of my job is trying to fight that in the market, that noise on the market, with proper education, trying to help these customers to make their path with all the knowledge and away from the buzz and away from the noise.
All right, Pedro, and then just last question. For those watching, obviously there's high interest in AI. As you mentioned, there's an education gap, lots of use cases. A couple of pieces of advice. If they want to get started with AI and CX, how should they do that?
So my advice is get a partner that you trust. Get a partner that you trust that will help you make this journey. There is no such thing as you implement something, it's happy, it's done. That doesn't exist right now. So you need to create a relationship, a trust relationship with a partner that you trust, that you know that is going to help you do this maturity journey. And for me, it's 99% of the work is that one. It's getting a strong bond with a partner of trust that helps them to be successful on that experimentation, piloting, and production phases of AI adoption.
Yeah, well, that's, when you think about it in contact center, that's always been important to have the right partner, right? And so I guess in some ways, some things never change, but I think with AI, the stakes are a lot higher, so that it's probably more important.
Totally agree.
Yeah, so anything else you want to add?
So I believe that right now, going into this path with someone that can help you doing this path, I think that is going to be a fundamental step for companies to successfully adopt. AI is only going to be able to prove its value once adopted, and this is a fundamental thing: getting adoption, getting experimentation, try out, start doing something. So this is my best final comments on this. On your question is start doing something because AI is here, is coming to stay. Start doing something, get the partner that you trust, and get on.
Yeah, actually, I asked one of the contact center leaders from one of the hotel chains. They're pretty far along, and I asked her what her advice was, and she said the same thing. Get started.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? You can sit around and talk about it, but eventually you just got to get started.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Pedro.
Thank you so much, Christopher, for inviting. It was really a pleasure being here with you.
Yeah. So on behalf of Pedro Andrade, I'm Zias Caravallo from ZK Research, and thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time on the next episode of ZKast. Thanks, Pedro.